We are live with another episode of Comic Talk. It's that show brought to you by The Key where we talk about this week's new comic book releases. For those of you who don't know, New Comic Book Day is every Wednesday at your local comic shop. Go to comicshoplocator.com, find a comic shop near you. Whether you like DC or Marvel or Image Comics or Dynamite or Boom Studios or any of the indie comics out there, they all drop on Wednesdays, and we're here every Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/The Keeg Show or wherever you get your podcast from to talk about all the comics that came out this week that we could read in 24 hours. I'm your host, Dimithri Perera, and yes, if you're watching us live, you're watching us on youtube.com/The Keeg Show, or maybe you're listening to this after the fact on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc., etc. If you're watching us live, you can see who our people are, and they've been on the show before, and they're here to talk about comics. But, you know, if you're listening to the podcast, then you can't see who the people are because they haven't spoken yet. You can't even tell. You don't even know. You don't know shit. I don't know what that was. Introducing Virgo Blade, Ethan. What's up, man?
What up, what up? I'm Batman Beyond excited.
We'll definitely talk about that. I saw some videos of yours. I saw some TikToks.
Got some thoughts.
You got some thoughts. We also got Jecky, aka Jecky Comics. What's up, Jecky?
What's going on, fellas? How's it going?
Going good. You guys have never been on an episode together.
No.
Correct.
First time.
Yeah, because I mean, Jecky, you're relatively new to this show. This is probably like your fifth, month on this show. Ethan, what are you at? A year and a half now?
I think it's like a year and a half.
Okay. See? And so we've been doing this
seasoned
since
vet over here.
March 2021, I think, is when we debuted this show.
Wow. Damn.
And we've tried to do every week. And sometimes, but lately we've been pretty much doing every week, no exceptions. So
yeah, you got a stacked schedule.
Yeah, it's every Thursday. So, we do what we can. A lot of comics came out. We're here to talk about comics. Again, DC, Marvel, Image, whatever we can get our hands on and whatever we could read in the amount of time possible. If you guys are out there watching us, let us know you're out there. Hop in the chat, like, comment, subscribe, follow, write a review, do your thing. And go to comicshoplocator.com. Find a comic shop near you. Who has an absolute, or no, we're not going over picks of the week yet. We're going over reading lists. That's what we need to do. Who has their reading list? What did you guys read this week?
I'll go. I did Superman issue number 31, Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 13, Immortal Legend Batman issue number 3, Justice League Unlimited issue number 12, New History of the DC Universe issue number 4, Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 39, Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 22, and Fantastic Four issue number 4.
All right, very nice. It's a good stack right there.
Good week.
Yeah. All right. Jeky, you want to go or you want me to go?
All right. League Unlimited number 12. Superman number 31. Green Lantern number 28. Now jumping into the Ultimate Universe, Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion number 5. The Ultimate Scene, Ultimate Spider-Man number 22. That's it.
Oh, all right, cool. You broke up for a second, so when you stopped, I was like, is it still breaking up? Oh no.
Oh, my bad.
I got everything though. I was wondering, you didn't read Miles Morales Spider-Man 39?
I did not. No. After reading this, though, I wish I did because it's all connected.
Kind of. I mean, we'll go over it, but okay.
Yeah. It was dope.
Yeah. Did you say you read Skinbreaker or no?
I did, yeah. Skinbreaker number 2.
Okay. I don't know. Okay. All right. Ethan, is Jacky's connection going a little slower?
Little bit. It's kind of laggy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was me, because just as likely to be me.
Oh, I was wondering. I was like,
It's like
okay.
news reports,
Hopefully, he
you know?
doesn't crash.
All right. So
I was like, I could see you kind of like, I could see kind of waiting, and I was like, is that me or is that?
we're gonna test this out live right now. When I say go, you tell me when you hear it. All right. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
go.
With no delay.
There was a delay. Wait, you there? You're getting choppy, Jakey.
All right. Let me go reset my modem.
Cool,
All
cool,
right.
cool. I'm gonna go through my reading list while you
All right.
do that, and we'll
BRB.
keep this flowing.
Sounds good. BRB.
All right, Ethan, you're good though, right?
Yep, I'm good.
All right.
Good to go.
So, my reading list: Absolute Wonder Woman 13, Justice League Unlimited 12, New History of the DC Universe 4, Superman 31, Fantastic Four 4, Ultimate Spider-Man 22, Miles Morales Spider-Man 39, Ultimate 17, Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion 5. I didn't get to finish Detective Comics 1102, and it started off really good, and I only got halfway, but it is what it is. Flash 26, Green Arrow 29, and then from Image Comics, from writer James Tynion the Fourth, Tiny Onion, Exquisite Corpses 6. I also read Marvel's Radioactive Spider-Man 1, Predator Kills the Marvel Universe 3, Spider-Girl 5, and then from Image Comics Ghost Machine imprint, I read Sisterhood, a Hyde Street Story issue 4.
Hmm.
So that's my lineup. I
Good
tried.
list.
What's up?
Good list.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much read everything that I wanted to read, but like
Mm-hmm.
there were a couple that I missed. Like I didn't get to finish Detective Comics. I wanted to read Marvel Zombies Red Band number 2. I didn't get to do that, but
Yeah.
That's I'm not like I don't need to read Marvel Zombies the day of. It's fine, you know.
Right. Yeah. You can save it.
Yeah. While Jecky gets his stuff figured out, and for anyone watching us, congrats, you get to see this weird kind of picture with everything. But Ethan, do you want your pick of the week? Yeah, you tell me your pick of the week, and we'll talk about
Okay. Kind of going back and forth. Like I'm really feeling the DCKO like tie-ins.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a match between JLU and Superman. But I think I'm gonna go with JLU. Mainly it's like Mr. Terrific. He's putting together this team of the Terrific 10, and then surprise is Tim Drake Batman Beyond, which caused a big stir, I've noticed, which actually makes me happy that people feel so strongly about it.
Yeah.
Because the worst thing that you can be is boring.
Yeah.
And Tim Drake is not boring, so people have a lot of opinions. And look, the fact of the matter is that, like, it doesn't take away from Terry McGinnis. This is from Future's End, which is a storyline I never thought would ever be brought up again. It's kind of like a random deep cut from the New 52 era.
Yeah.
I read it and I was into it mainly because it was my oasis amongst the lack of having Tim Drake content. It's not my preference to have Tim Drake as Batman Beyond. At the same time, he was done so dirty during the New 52 era that I was happy that he was getting any scraps. So that was kind of like a nice treat. And I feel like it's an interesting thing to explore, like Tim as Batman Beyond, because like to me these mantles, just like with Grayson as Batman, it's like, oh, it's not permanent, but like let's see what would happen if this were to take place. And Tim Drake is such a high-tech, advanced, very smart character that it makes sense for him to be in this neo-Gotham setting as Batman Beyond. So really for those reasons, like Mr. Terrific, the Terrific 10, and also we get to learn more about them. Like they're these like copies of those characters. They're not the actual characters. They are like quantum copies essentially.
Yeah.
And that's a cool concept.
The way I judged, or the way I kind of took from it, is not that these are time displaced heroes. They are like, yeah, they're just copies from the
Mhm.
timeline. Whatever timeline they were from stays intact, and they're
Mhm.
just like essentially cloned in a way, but
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
scientifically. It's just, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's like quantum ghosts.
Yeah.
And that concept is very cool, which means that you can do anything to them and not have to worry about it. And also love like Mr. Terrific leading a team again. Like the Terrifics was really fun, and I just like when he gets a spotlight as well. So I think mainly for the intrigue, that might have taken my number one slot.
It was a cool book. I read it. I really liked it. For anyone out there right now, DC is doing the DCKO event, and not all the series tie in, but some of them do. And what I like about the tie-ins is they're focusing on like not the big heroes, because the big heroes have gone all over to the crossover event, but everybody else is left behind, right? And so all
Mhm.
these different tie-ins, like the Titans and Flash and all that, are dealing with like the heroes that didn't go to the event. Kind of like when there's a class trip, but you're not like part of that class. Like, oh, seniors get to go out and do something, and you're like stuck at school. It's kind of like that.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they didn't do anything with Batman Beyond in this. Like, a couple of the characters of the 10 get like at least 2 pages of them seeing kind of like what is this reality's, like what's the impact of this reality. Like we get to see that recognition. Like Aquaman, it's an Aquaman from the past. He takes a look at all the tragedy to come, and then uh he sees, oh, that he has a daughter now. Which, by the way, I'm not reading Aquaman, so I didn't know that.
Mhm.
I didn't know he has a daughter.
Yeah, there's been a lot of advancements in Aquaman, and that was cool. And you are right, like Tim Drake didn't have like a big moment, but just the fact that he he just said, "I'm Tim Drake, Batman."
Yeah.
And once again, it caused all this. To me, that's what I saw people talking about. So kind of like, despite these other characters the from Andrino Hawk, the ancestor of
Yeah.
Hawkman. Like he had his segment, Aquaman has had his, then even Guy as Warrior, he had his with Tora Ice, and yet I don't know. I just saw a lot of people have very strong opinions about Batman Beyond. Not to take away from anything else, but that to me really was striking and says how much impact that character actually has.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when it comes to like comic book news, I'm sure like comic book sites, their articles aren't going to be like, you won't guess what happens to Hawkman versus like Tim Drake is Batman Beyond. Like these are like like shout Batman Beyond and like people come running.
True.
Yeah.
This was mostly like social media. Like I
Yeah.
haven't seen like mostly like comics. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
that they did because it's like a headline story, but it was more like people under the Justice League like hashtag and what they were talking about. But to me, like the concept is also very grabbing of these characters from different times. Of course, they're copies, but they still feel like they're real heroes, and I kind of feel bad for them because they have like an expiration date.
Yeah.
And like I low key wish that they, I don't know, kind of live because it just feels very sad to like kill them off after they like complete their mission. But I also get how it would be, you can't have like two Aquaman operating in the same function, like unless they're on like a multiverse situation and he's
Yeah.
like away. So I don't think that'll happen, but also I just feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jecky is back. We're talking about Justice League Unlimited
Justice
12.
League.
Did you read this one?
I did.
Did you like it?
I did. I was listening briefly when I got up back on.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed it. I really like what they're doing with Mr. Terrific and this team that he's putting together. It's like it's very interesting. And the Tim Drake Batman Beyond thing, I personally really liked.
Yeah.
It also makes sense, right? Because by the time Terry McGinnis gets the suit's already there, right? And for me, it just makes sense that at some point Tim Drake would probably have he'd have been a little older when Bruce was retiring, it
Yeah.
makes sense at some point he would have had that suit. For me, that makes perfect sense. So
Ethan and I were talking about like the Future's End kind of thing that happened like 2 years after New 52 kicked off.
mhm,
I I used to tune in to DC Comics like events after New 52 because I didn't like New 52 and I just hoped the event would bring back a sense of normalcy, and
mhm,
which we're only really truly getting now.
Mhm.
And so to DC Comics lore, which we will talk about. We're gonna do. Okay, I don't know. What was I gonna say? I don't like Tim Drake as Batman Beyond, but I also feel like the general public doesn't know that the Batman Beyond comics are a different continuity than the cartoon.
Mhm.
yeah,
You
Those,
know,
yeah, that's true.
mhm,
it is, and like it's just a little bit different. The cartoon people want Terry McGinnis as Batman Beyond. I get it.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. To me, he is Batman Beyond. Like
Yeah,
Terry McGinnis, like those things are equal. But much like Bruce Wayne is Batman, but Nightwing was Batman for a little bit.
yeah,
That's kind of how I like look at it. Like, oh, it's a fun thing to like experiment with. Also,
yeah,
the Hawk character was Gold Hawk. I was trying to remember the exact name of
mm,
him. He's Gold Hawk. But yeah, like I feel like it's a cool thing to experiment with. I don't want that to be his permanent role by any stretch, but it's fun
yeah,
to like check it out.
yeah.
yeah,
With the premise of this issue and this like storyline, yeah, I don't think all the characters are gonna die, but I think that a lot of them are because
yeah,
they can, and it won't affect
yeah,
the timeline.
Mhm.
exactly.
Not to mention in
Man,
DCKO, people are dying too. So,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
um,
Guy Gardner Warriors, a throwback to the '90s. I was like, oh my god,
Right.
oh my god,
he's such a dick.
right. That was a rough time too. Like that, I've read some of the old Guy Gardner Warriors. I'm like, this is rough, man. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
he's like a shapeshifter. Like his hand turns into weapons. And
yeah.
it was very '90s. And like seeing that was hilarious. 'Cause I was like, oh man, guy, wow,
Yeah,
warrior.
that was back when DC was like they're kind of like what they do sometimes with Superman, where like there's only one Kryptonian left. They were
Hmm.
like, there's one Green Lantern and it's Kyle Rayner, which I
Yep.
love that. But then they were like, okay, so John Stewart is a Dark Star. Uh,
Yeah.
um, Guy has alien heritage, so he can form weapons out of his arms. He's warrior.
Yeah. Al
Alan
Jordan
Scott,
was
yeah, Hal Jordan
parallax
was
or
Parallax.
whatever.
Alan Scott was
Oh.
Sentinel. Like,
Hmm.
okay, but
Yeah.
now it's kind of switched where every Green Lantern gets some time to shine except for Kyle. And I'm like,
Except for, well, actually, well, and the Green Lantern one that I read, they're trying very like they're trying to give him back the White Lantern powers.
mm,
So that's interesting. He's learning how to master it. It's kind of like a little story in between the main Green Lantern story that just started. I was
yeah,
just like, all right, they're trying really hard to give him a little moment, and I'm
yeah,
like, give my boy some light, man. Come on.
Yeah, I love Kyle.
yeah.
Yeah, like bring back Kyle, man.
It's because we grew up with Kyle. Like,
Hmm.
Hmm.
I get it, and okay, yeah. I don't want to derail everything. I could go for hours. We could talk about it. Jakey, what's your pick of the week?
My pick of the week would have been Absolute Wonder Woman.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Um, I can talk
tell me
about
about
it.
it.
It's a great series. It's a part one of a two-part miniseries where there's kind of like this mysterious creature that she's chasing throughout the world, and the at the end she realizes that the creature is kind of like a version of her. Um, in the previous arc, we were introduced to Absolute Zatanna. So I don't know how this is gonna connect, right?
Yeah,
Because the previous arc ended with us finally seeing Absolute Zatanna. So I don't know if this is gonna somehow end up connecting to that. But it was a great series. It was just Diana kind of like chasing this creature across the world. She would fight her and then she would disappear. And she realizes that she thought that all the Amazonians were destroyed or killed. And she realizes that she's starting to realize that there are still some Amazonians left in the absolute universe.
Yeah.
And for some reason, this creature only pops up in places where there have been big battles involving the Amazonians.
Yeah.
So there's kind of like a mystery. How is this going to connect to the bigger picture? I thought it was pretty good. I really like seeing Kelly Thompson just really like break down Diana's core personality in the absolute universe. So just how she's dealing with this. At first, she feels defeated because this creature keeps getting away and she's getting frustrated, but then she kind of calms down and actually thinks. And when she does, she realizes, wait, this is me. And that's kind of how the issue ends. So we'll see where it goes.
Okay. Okay. I have to say, like, wasn't a big fan of this issue. And this
No?
is my favorite absolute book. But this
Okay.
issue didn't hit what I wanted it to hit.
No?
Not really. But that's okay.
Well, tell me why.
No, I don't know. I just thought it was a little slow for me. I was like, I was trying to solve the mystery, but like there still wasn't enough information. So I wasn't able to solve it. It was just like, okay, you're there for the ride, but I feel like there wasn't enough of a ride. It was just, you know?
Were you expecting them to go into Zatanna and
Yeah,
because
there
I
was that.
thought so too.
Because I kept trying to think, how is this Zatanna? Maybe, and I was like, my mind was working like, maybe she did a spell backwards or set a spell forwards and it went in the opposite direction. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the absolute twist is going to be with absolute Zatanna, but like, I wouldn't be surprised if she gets opposite spells by speaking normally and regular spells by speaking backwards.
I didn't think this light creature was going to be Diana. I thought it would have been Zatanna who can't control her powers. That's kind of what I thought they were going to do, or maybe like a version of Zatanna that is somehow connected to the Amazons.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like seeing her kind of like struggle and then kind of calm down and just trust herself and just I enjoyed it because
Yeah, I thought this was a strong issue personally. And I really liked the concept because essentially the theme is magic comes at a cost, and this is the price. And she's done some very wild stuff. Like she made a giant sword, she took out the tetracide. Like her spells have been dope to where like I forgot, like, oh yeah, like magic also comes back at you. So it was a very smart way, like to have that manifest itself as this alternate, version of Diana that has manifested and is now like seeking retribution of some sort. We don't know its exact like motivations, but I thought it was a cool way to externalize like what's happening with Wonder Woman on the inside because she is so powerful, but it's not as if she can just go around doing whatever she wants to do. So I liked it, and to me, it's going in a direction that I even prefer over the last arc, which was good, but I loved the first arc so much. And even that Hades underworld section that was very cool too.
That was really good.
Yeah, and like I love the ending of the last one of with the maze and Zatanna, of course. But I don't think that it was personally like as good as the first arc, where I was like, this is going to a very interesting place. And because it is dealing with magic, I feel like they are going to incorporate Zatanna in a more kind of like intricate way that makes sense. So I'm very hopeful about where it's going to go.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still sticking with it just because like it wasn't my favorite issue. I didn't hate it.
Yeah. The previous arc was good, but it felt a little stagnant at one point. At one point, I was like, all right, we've been in this maze for like, 5 issues. I was kind of like, all right, let's keep it pushing. But overall, like I liked it. But I like that now she's kind of also like giving her supporting cast some time to shine too, and she's leaning on them. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah, because you have to slow down sometimes in order to like figure out what's happening with the other characters. And like I also want to know about Gia and Barbara and Steve Trevor. And this really felt like we got to do that this issue.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm struggling with my pick of the week. Not just that like, JLU was pretty high up for me, but I'm not gonna pick that. And I don't want to pick New History of the DC Universe number 4 just yet, but I think Fantastic Four number 4.
Okay.
There's something different about this series that like Ryan North, the way he writes things is there's some months where they're just standalone issues, and it just seems a lot like a show like Star Trek or a show like Twilight Zone, where you're just getting this like puzzle, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like the story is a puzzle, or the story has a point. It's like a moral parable of sorts, and it's there to teach you a lesson at the end or to evoke some sort of emotion. Like every issue, even when they're standalone, there's like a point to it, right? And kind of like a Star Trek episode or like Twilight Zone, it's taking science fiction and it's giving it like a purpose, you know? So,
Nice.
did you guys read this one?
I did.
No.
Yeah.
The premise is that there's an alien creature in the Fantastic Four's house, and they're all hanging out, but Alicia, who is blind, she is Ben's wife, she is the only one to catch on that this creature is a little bit weird, because everybody else views the creature as a puppy that's super cute and they invite to their house. But she touches it, feels that it's like slimy and like tentacly, and then switches to it feels like a puppy. Like she gets a little bit of like a head start, so to speak, or like a little bit of insight into that because of the way she senses things. And so she also got to be an autonomous character, not just Ben's wife in this. She realizes that something's off, and she also realizes that nobody else notices, so she realizes that she can't say things out loud about her suspicions. So she goes to Reed and she says, if this happened, how would this work? And he like solves the puzzle, and it mentions that Reed he's never skeptical at first. He's always like, oh yeah, well, this is how it would happen. And then Reed figures out like, why would she bring that up? And then he figures it out, and then like there's a whole thing with that. I liked it. I thought it was just a solid issue.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I didn't. I feel like in this is probably a me issue. It's like I think I expect too much of this book, and I need to adjust my expectations because I'm not really getting it in any sense. Like it's not bad. Like what it's trying to do is succeeding at, and I feel like I'm going into it wanting a lot of like character dynamics between like the family itself. And then we can kind of like expand into other areas because I'm a relative newcomer to Fantastic Four. Like I've seen the cartoons and the movies and a little bit of the comics, but this is like the first time I'm like going headfirst into it. And it I can understand what it's doing, and it's doing it very well actually like with her being blind, but also having access to other abilities and senses that the other Fantastic Four don't. Like, it's a really like strong story. At the same time, I just don't feel like it's giving me like either epic Fantastic Four, like action drama, and also like the personal relationships. Like, I kind of want to see like, oh, Johnny Storm and Ben like hanging out, and like not say that she can't be in it, but it feels like they're not the focus. Even like the first issue, they're separated. Like that's the first issue of the book. Like that's like status quo wise, it's on like shaky ground. I just wish it also kind of starts within like the context of One World Under Doom, which I don't think like worked in its favor either.
Yeah.
I feel like it should have come out afterwards. So yeah, the story just felt like it was good, but also not groundbreaking. And but that's once again a me thing where I have to like readjust and say like don't expect like oh upper echelon high drama and just like accept the story that it's telling because it is actually very good. So
yeah. I think he's doing Ryan North is writing stories like this because One World Under Doom is such a big thing right now that like he's not tying it in. He's just like, here's a day in the life. Like, let's just do a bunch of day in the lives. That being said, like I can understand if you let's just say like there are people out there that only can buy like a couple comics every month. If that, and they spend their money on this and they expect some like really long and involved story, but it's not. It's just kind of a standalone thing. I get it. Also, it's funny that like this is issue 4, but really it's just a continuation of the previous run because it has the same team. So like it's Ryan North writing it no matter what, and they just decided let's just start over with a number 1, and like it's the same thing.
Yeah, and that's what it feels like. Kind of mentioning back with like the One World Under Doom, which by the way, it's like I don't, need it to tie in, and actually love like character focused stories. It's kind of how I feel about the new JSA. It just feels very like not going into the characters because you're assuming that the audience already knows. Yeah. And of course, with JSA, I do already know, and with Fantastic Four, I have a good sense, but I don't know the ins and outs. Yeah. So I really want to feel like, oh, this is who Johnny Storm is. And I'm not getting that. It just seems like it's assuming the audience knows and cares about like a character like Alicia versus like, oh, let me show you like what their dynamic is ahead of time, how they met. It doesn't feel like the start of something. It feels like we're like in the midst of something.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not bad, once again, just not what I wanted.
Yeah. I guess to compare it, it's more like Star Trek than it is Twilight Zone, because Twilight Zone doesn't have like characters that are in every episode or whatever. Mm-hmm. But Star Trek, the original series, they would go to planet and there'd be some different story and whatnot. But like you'd still have Kirk and Spock and whatever. Mm-hmm. But truth be told, like, yeah, if you tuned in on a Star Trek episode, like, what are you involved? Like, what strikes you? Like, why are you there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, why should you care?
Yeah. I get that. Mm-hmm. I just happen to care already because I've been reading Ryan North's run. So for me, this isn't anything like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, cause that's why I compared it to JSA, because I really don't feel like this new run, I wouldn't get a new reader to read this one. Exactly. Because it's not taking its time to like, oh, this is Dr. Midnight. This is our man. It's not really
not really investing into the primary characters.
Yeah.
Exactly. It just assumes that the audience knows. And I prefer when they take the time and really like build and show you why you should care and then go through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially since it's just started, mm-hmm. Or it's just restarted, you would think you would dive back into your main characters and kind of like those. When I think Fantastic Four, I feel like the bonds between them is probably the strongest part of the story. So
yeah, and that's why I kind of felt like I didn't get what I wanted, like that first issue specifically, because they like enter the comic and they fight Doctor Doom, which of course is One World Under Doom, but then they get separated through time, which once again it's like it was actually a very good story. But if this happened like maybe like issue 12,
right,
that would have been fine. Like jumping in, I wanted to just like see them interact.
It wasn't treated like a pilot of a TV show, and it should. Mm-hmm. And I talk about this a lot. Like the first issue of a comic needs to sell the comic.
Like, and you need to reestablish. Or if there's a new status quo, you need to focus and explain that. You can't just pick up and go, because especially a number 1 is when a lot of new people will be like, oh, let me jump into this, right? It's a good, it's usually considered a good jumping on point.
Yeah.
If especially if you're not changing the writers, and why are you going back to number 1?
Yeah. Not just a good starting off point, but also indicative of like the tone and the themes and what to expect from this series, right? Like a Batman run, if you're introducing a new Batman run, like Batman #1 by Matt Fraction, like he is introducing concepts that I would be surprised if those concepts are not around in issue 5. Like, like the style should be,
you're setting up the tone.
Yeah, the expectations, right? Batman Dark Patterns is all about the mystery and whatever. But like, if you want to see him like slug it out with new gods, you're not going to get that in Batman Dark Patterns, and it's not promising that either. You know, it's promising some weird serial killer stuff, and that's Batman Dark Patterns. So
yeah,
right.
which is solid. I mean,
What's that?
which is solid, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a good
It's
series.
ending soon, and that sucks.
Yeah.
Let's talk Ultimate Spider-Man number 22, because that was a big issue that came out this week. It's from Marvel Comics. How'd you guys feel about this? Did you guys read this one?
Mm-hmm. I did.
Okay,
I
so
did.
did I. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I'm loving Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm still in denial that it's going to end.
Yeah.
I really enjoy Peter's son specifically. I feel like him and like Black Cat and him having to like infiltrate Kingpin's domain, and like I like the setup for that. And also the end reveal I did not see coming, and I want to know what it means, because it seems like with Mysterio it's just like that could like go in so many different directions. Like, so yeah, I just feel like this like was in the running, definitely like top 3 book for me. Just because, and also the art is fantastic. Like I love how everyone is drawn and it's so like kinetic. But yeah, this was just like a strong book.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying this as well. This book is giving me so much anxiety because whenever they're together, I just feel like something bad is gonna happen. Like whenever Peter's with his family and they're having a normal family time, like they're enjoying themselves. I'm like, but especially with Otto being there, like I'm like I still don't trust this version of Otto and
No.
his no, I still don't. Like, I still feel like there's gonna be like a last minute switch up, especially how he was talking about the Maker here. It sounded like he admires the Maker in a way, right? And yeah, this thing a few issues ago when the 3 of them had dinner, I was just like, I had so much anxiety reading this thing. I just feel like eventually the hammer's gonna fall. You know what I mean? And it's not gonna end well. Someone's gonna die. And so especially when Jonah and Ben are together, and I just feel like eventually the good guys are kind of getting away with a lot, and the tone of this universe, and maybe I'm just thinking too much about the DC Absolute universe, but I just feel like for this to be eventually something's gonna happen. It's gonna catch up to them.
Yeah.
So and I mean that in the best way. I'm really enjoying it, but it's giving me so much anxiety.
Well, first thing, Mysterio is mystical in this, right?
Yeah. They haven't really explained that
It seems
very
like
well.
it's magic based, and that it's like this weird culty kind of like stuff. I think at the end when they reveal Mysterio, I think it's all the dead Mysterios merged together, like they're ghosts. That's what I see, because they have multiple hands, and I'm like, oh, it's. I forgot that's how the last issue, like issue 21, ended, and I had to like go back and reread it, and I was like, oh, that's right.
Harry has a lot going on. He has his dad in his head. He got like his, I guess, wife's ghost with also her other people. Like he has a lot going on.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, and they're like, were they fighting like gangs of bullseyes?
gangs of bullseyes.
You
Yeah.
know, and then like Doc Ock. First things first, he looks a lot like Peter, like he's because he's skinny, and then he also has a spider suit.
Yeah, with the claw. Yeah, with the claws. Claws are legs. So
It's the
like,
claws, and it has like the Insomniac white logo on it. So like, I'm like, what are they planning on doing? But whatever they're planning on doing, you had 2 issues left, and then Ultimate Endgame, and I don't think it ends. I don't think it ends. I think they're gonna pull a switcheroo. Like, I think they're gonna pull something where everything they've said about it ending is true. Like, Marvel didn't lie to us, but at the same time, I think they've chosen their words carefully.
Well, they just announced Ultimate Daredevil, and then they also had the first issue for Ultimate Hawkeye. So
It was a
at
one-shot. The Hawkeye one was a one-shot.
The thing is, though, it didn't really end. If the way it ended, it felt like there was more coming, right?
Yeah.
It feels like they're telling you that they're ending your universe, but they're setting up other things with the characters within that universe. And again, maybe I'm just in denial, like we're all in denial here. But I don't know, it doesn't feel like this is ending. There's also not a lot of time to wrap all these stories up,
Yeah. It was nice to see that Mole Man and the Moloids are nice with the like the Parkers.
Yeah. That's a pretty decent looking house. Like that house was a pretty
Underground,
decent
right?
looking
Yeah.
underground, right? Like it's not like a hut, you know what I mean? It's pretty decent, nice glass and everything.
Yeah.
Like
I
nice
mean,
balcony.
it is like a mansion. It's just in a
Yeah.
cavern underneath New York City.
New York City, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I always feel bad, by the way, in Marvel when somebody mistreats or kills a Moloid. I feel really
Mhm.
bad. Like I just feel like they're it's not their fault, you know? Like leave them alone. Like in one of the early issues of Ultimates, they talk about how Moloids are generally known to the public, but like they're like mistreated. And like I think there was one being abused and like whatever in that first issue of Ultimates. And I felt really bad. And I'm like, no. They're like minions, but like
makes me think of Harry Potter, you know, Toby
yeah,
and
they're
Harry
kind of like
Potter.
minions meet house elves in a way,
Yeah.
you know? And I'm like, oh, it's sad.
Also, Mole Man. Maybe I'm just like naturally skeptical. But also, Mole Man. I'm like, what's his end game here?
I don't
You
think.
know, like
Oh yeah, Ultimate Endgame is all about Mole Man's Endgame. It's a Mole Man centric crossover event.
watch. That's the
I don't,
twist.
I don't know what they're gonna do. I wouldn't be surprised if they said, yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man ends, but Ultimate Venom is the new sequel series. Like any series they said is ending gets a sequel series.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
that
can see that.
means like they didn't technically lie.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
Yeah,
I hope that they do that. I feel like there's so much potential. Like I know that they said like, oh, it's a good like ending point. But I'm greedy and I want more.
Yeah. I think the only person who dies in this is going to be Peter. I don't think anyone else is going to die. Harry may, but Harry did die, then came like I don't know whether Harry needs to die again. But I think Peter would die. I don't think Uncle Ben's gonna die. I don't think Jonah's gonna die.
I think Uncle Ben's going, man. I think under one of the two. I think one because they're so close and those two old guys are just, they're not willing to let it go. I feel like one of them is gonna die. Jonah.
I don't think Hickman is that writer to torture his characters. I don't think Hickman does that. I think Hickman will have a purpose. I think Hickman will throw a thing in where it leads you to think that someone's going to die, and Peter takes the bullet, right? And he gives up his life for his family, and that's the theme that Hickman wants to push forward, is that like the ultimate like sacrifice sort of thing, you know?
Yeah.
I can see that going. Like there are other writers that they would torture the family.
I gotta say, I love seeing him like Peter and Mary Jane together, man. And like it's like when they had their moment when they left and did their own thing, I was just like, man, these two all belong together. I was like,
yeah, they're best when they're together.
Yeah,
absolutely, 100%.
I don't want to talk about it too much because we are going to be doing an episode this weekend on this, but New History of the DC Universe issue number 4. But we can talk about it and then we can switch over. But this finishes off the mini series of chronicling exactly what happened with the DC universe from Big Bang to now. And I was wondering what they were going to do with this final issue. And in my opinion, they just rushed through everything because there was so much to go over. And they're just like, nah, this happened, then this happened, then this happened. That's what you get. That's what you get, you know? I was trying to think of like what really stood out as anything like weird. I don't know if you guys read this one.
I read it. I don't think it was weird. I do feel like it went by very fast.
Yeah.
And like I weirdly kind of have enjoyed like this kind of stroll through DC history and like remembering certain moments. What stood out to me was I like that it like had Blackest Night, which is one of my favorite major events. To me, like that's how you do a major event that's very like story driven, but also like huge things happen.
Yeah.
Love that. But then it like also went down very quickly when New 52 came. So that stood out in a negative way because I am not a fan of New 52. I feel like it ruined a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I feel about it.
But the way they explain New 52 is almost like it was never a real universe to begin with. And I
Mhm.
like that because I'm sorry, but like it wasn't real. Okay, cool. Like it was, but they mentioned that like this is where things were off and like there were imposters pretending to be real, like because there was actually a lot of imposter storylines in New 52, like
Yeah. Like Superboy's was convoluted. I meant like
and Kid
kind of
Flash too, right?
Oh yeah, that too.
And Lobo,
Lobo was
because you
terrible.
got the skinny Edward Cullen Lobo.
Yeah.
You know, there was that. There was a lot of like that sort of thing. But in the end, they wrapped it up, and I think the twist at the end is Barry, his house is in our universe.
Mm,
I think that's the twist at the end because he goes into a comic shop and he picks up a comic.
that is true.
And
I guess I kind of assumed that like their Earth decided to adapt it in comic book form, but you could be right. My mind just didn't go there. But
yeah,
I could see that happening.
I think he just has a cottage in our real world.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, then I need him to fix some things.
come on,
Please.
Barry. Like, come
Please.
on, man.
Get
Yes.
to running, my guy.
Right. It's looking a little Earth X over here, so we're gonna have
it's a
to.
little rough out here.
Yeah.
We need a good old fashioned reset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you flashpoint us?
Yeah, please.
Please.
Because I would take New 52 us over whatever this is. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how bad it is.
It's ghetto out here.
Let's let's talk about the since we're on it, the ultimate stuff. Well, no, we got to talk about everything real quick. So let's get to it. Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion number 5 that then leads into Miles Morales Spider-Man 39, kind of. But Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion number 5, finally, like, Miles gets his sister, and they get to go back to their universe, and after fighting Roberto DaCosta's dad. It's essentially the big bad guy at the end of this issue, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Who read this one?
I did.
You got quick thoughts?
I didn't love it.
No.
Honestly, I thought it was a little disappointing. They've been building towards the Maker getting out, and somehow they were going to use his little sister as the key to that, and ultimately nothing happened.
Ultimately, nothing happened.
And I was like,
yeah.
And I was like, you gave me 5 issues of Miles chasing this baby across the Ultimate Universe, and some of it was good, but a lot of it felt redundant. You know, it felt very forced. It was like, this issue you will meet these characters from this series.
From
this
Japan,
issue you will meet
like
these...
he will literally
right.
Goes to Japan.
Like he went Japan, Russia, America. Like he met like every character in the Ultimate Universe, and the whole thing was they've been also teasing the Maker. I'm like, when is the Maker coming? And like, I thought this was gonna be the issue that sets up Ultimate Endgame, and then it doesn't really do that, right? It just ends with Miles going back to his world with his little sister, and I was like, wait, what was the point? And granted, I didn't read the Miles Morales the main series, but I was kind of like, what was the point of these 5 issues?
So there is a couple of things. One is after this issue, and again, we don't have that much time. This issue leads us to Ultimate 17, and it leads us to Miles Morales Spider-Man 39. So Miles Morales, the only thing that leads it is like the age Billy up just a little bit, so that she's talking and she's like a toddler now, and not just a baby. She's a toddler. Okay, great. I don't know what that changes much, but like whatever.
Right.
But he leaves with the Omega boxes, which can give power to people. So that's what changes. And then also he is the one who tells Ultimate Doom that the Maker is Reed Richards.
Reed Richards.
Because he didn't know.
You know, I get that, but I feel like that's for 5 issues worth of stuff that wasn't exactly a good payoff. It wasn't worth it.
Also, especially if you're quote unquote ending everything. Like, why did we stroll down this universe to do that? I don't know. There's some weird things going on with the Ultimate Universe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Then we got Ultimate 17, which I didn't care for this issue. They do this a lot. They bring us Ultimate Doom, which is Reed Richards, and they give him like his own issue, and like not much happens in these. They're like introspective issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also I can't quite figure out it. So now he realizes that the maker was Reed Richards, and he's telling Tony that he's gonna step away, but he's still trying to recreate the Fantastic Four. It's a little like I was like, okay, which one are you actually doing? I don't know. I felt like a whole issue basically of him talking to Tony about stepping away, but not really. Again, it felt like a waste of an issue to me.
I think sometimes when events are either here or coming up, writers have to like spin their wheel to like make things sync up time wise, you know?
Hmm.
I don't know. It is. I don't know what's gonna happen with this. I'm very confused about Ultimate Marvel right now. So,
Yeah.
And then Miles Morales Spider-Man 39 finishes off the arc that they were doing with White Cat and Inari. Inara. And so, like, I thought that part was cool. And in the end, they just give 2 pages to what happens after Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, and then they are like, find out more about the Omega boxes in 2026, and that's pretty much it. You guys got quick thoughts about the rest of the stuff? We'll get through it like one sentence each. Superman 31. I know Ethan read that one.
Yes, that was a very good issue. I just love seeing Superman, even in the midst of like fire pits emerging over the earth. He still cares so much about people, and he's trying to evacuate them. He's going to care about other people more than himself. And this issue showed that in the best way possible. There was a parasite. I feel like that was a cool like scene for him to pop in. Yeah, this was also a very strong issue. Also, that ending was a big surprise because I didn't think that Superboy Prime would come back so quickly.
Yeah.
And then Superwoman as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I was like, oh, okay, this is happening.
Yeah.
I like that. It's kind of like since a lot of the characters are going to be doing the KO thing, they're like, all right, we're going to do the Mr. Terrific's team. We're going to bring back
Mhm.
Superwoman. Like, we're going to also have some other things running at like outside of KO, but kind of like who's going to hold it down while all
Mhm.
that is happening over there. I like that. I think
Yeah.
it's a good setup.
Speaking
Yeah.
of which, in the Flash 26, you could literally start with this because Bad Moon Rising just ended. So Flash 26 is a DC KO tie-in, and it's partly written by Mark Waid, partly written by Christopher Cantwell. So it's about Impulse realizing, oh, he's gonna time travel, and he's going to stop Darkseid from
Yeah.
like before. But Darkseid knows because Darkseid is all. And so
Was it?
he's trying to create Impulse Point. But like people in the present don't know who Impulse is because he's messed with time. So
Yeah, I saw the description. I didn't pick it up, but I was like, I thought about picking it up. I saw that description that Impulse was going to try to stop the dark side thing. So did you enjoy it? Like
yeah,
worth a pickup?
yeah. I mean, I wasn't like amazed. It was like a B. It wasn't an
Okay.
A, but it was a B.
All right.
And I'm like, a B
All
is
right.
good for me. I'm
Yeah,
cool
yeah,
with that.
yeah.
Skinbreaker #2 from Image Comics, written by Robert Kirkman, art by David Finch.
So I love Robert Kirkman's writing. This is why I picked it up. It feels like it. If you've ever watched played World of Warcraft or you've watched the movies, it feels like this is the story behind the culture of a group of orcs, and it's interesting. They kind of have very outdated barbaric traditions, and this character is the new leader of the cult, and it's kind of not a cult of, let's call it the village,
Yeah.
and they prioritize strength over everything, and he's trying to change their ways and making them a little bit more modern. I'm gonna give it one more issue because it's 2 issues. It's been 2 issues so far of him try reluctantly becoming the leader because he had to kill the previous leader to become the new leader, but he didn't want to because he thinks these ways are archaic, but just trying to change the way that his people think. I'll give it one more shot to see where it goes, and then we'll see.
Okay.
I'll give this like a C.
Okay. Ethan, was there any other books that you read this week?
I believe. Oh yeah, Immortal Legend Batman. But real quick, it is Inari, not Inara, and I like that it was made of that hard light construct. That was very cool.
The little white foxes, yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. I read Immortal Legend Batman. I'm really enjoying this series. This was a Riddler issue, and Riddler is my favorite Batman version, and I like what they did with him, and having the Immortal Legend Batman kind of go through like this like castle mystery and having to go through these different rooms and uncover like what he's really trying to get at. Yeah, this was a very strong issue. Still looking forward to like Robin and Nightwing linking up in those stories to come like together.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a strong issue.
Yeah. Because this is Japanese anime inspired, right? It's like, I know what people say tokusatsu, blah, 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 blah. But like, like that, I'm not familiar with that genre enough. But like, you know, Power Rangers-ish, Masked Rider, almost.
How many issues is this in?
It's issue 3.
Issue 3. I picked up the first one, and I haven't read it yet. And
Okay.
I need to make a mental note to pick up 2 and 3, and then finally read the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, because I do feel like it is getting better with every issue. The more it like expands.
I like how they said there are 3 protectors. There's the Bat, the Nightwing, and the Robin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like there's one protector for each of those like disciplines or whatever you want to call it. And like the art is really good. And like, okay. I read the first issue. I didn't read the second, so I didn't read the third.
Yeah, it's a very cool concept.
Yeah. I want to see some cosplay. I want to,
Oh,
like,
yeah. That'd be dope.
It'll be cool to see that in real life. Real quick, let's get through the rest of the stuff. Jecky, just real quick thoughts. Green Lantern 28.
It was okay.
Okay.
It's okay. I'm the Green Lantern guy. But when you put a whole issue just to set up one last mystery at the very end, it feels like a waste of an issue sometimes. You know, it's the previous arc, the Starbreaker arc was a crossover event between some Green Lantern stuff. Was okay. It's okay. We'll see where it goes. This issue felt like a kind of a waste till like the last page sets up something. You're like, all right.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Detective Comics 1102. I only read half of it, but it started off really good. There's a virus in Gotham. Batman needs to figure it out.
Yeah.
First half is good, and the art is great. So, Green Arrow 29, also really good, but this one was a sort of filler. It wasn't a filler issue, but like not as much happened in this because it's Oliver Queen figuring out the mystery of who the Crimson Archer is, and so it was really good. And this series is going to be ending soon, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But like, yeah, this issue needs to, and it's leading us to the next issue, and that's cool with me. Exquisite Corpses #6 from Image Comics. It's a cool sort of concept, a lot of death, serial killers that are competing for a prize in a shut down small town, essentially. It's like a reality show mixed with like kind of like Predator versus Alien in a way. There's a lot going on, but I would recommend Exquisite Corpses. I didn't like Radioactive Spider-Man. I'm not a big fan of this Age of Revelation crossover event. I think I've made my decision that, I don't like this crossover event. So I'm just waiting for Shadows of Tomorrow. Predator Kills the Marvel Universe #3. It is what it is. It's going to be dumb. Like, they took down Hulk by just shooting him with a gamma ray gun. And, like, cool. Like, I guess. Sisterhood, a Hyde Street story. Hyde Street has been really good from Image Comics, Ghost Machine, and this is kind of like a spin-off miniseries dealing with a sorority and a dead girl's ghost. It's really cool if you like that sort of thing. I like it. It's Hyde Street, so I like Hyde Street. And then Spider-Girl #5. I like Spider-Girl, but I want her to do more things, and I guess that's what this series is about, but at the same time, like, I need more from it. So that's my opinion. That's pretty much it. I want to thank you guys both so much for coming on and taking time out of your night. Before we get going, Ethan, where can we find you? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
I am on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Blue Sky, and it is Virgo Blade. Just use the search bar and I will come up. I am working on putting out a story. There are some behind-the-scenes pre-production stuff happening right now, and once more information is available, I will let you know.
Awesome.
Okay.
Cool. Let us know. And Jecky, same for you.
All right. Yeah, my name is Jecky. I'm primarily on TikTok and Instagram, Jecky Comics, and I created a page to help people navigate comic books, especially if they're new to the world of comic books.
Awesome. Awesome. You guys both do a lot of great work, so keep it up.
Thank you. As do you.
For real.
A little bit here and a little bit there, but thank you. For anyone out there who wants to follow me personally, you can follow me at This is Dimithri on Instagram. But if you want to follow the Keeg and all the shows that the Keeg does, including Comic Talk, which is every Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, you can find us at the Keeg Show on social media. TikTok and Instagram are our two biggest ones. We're also on like Blue Sky and Threads and all that. At the Keeg Show / the Keeg Show, wherever you can find the Keeg, including patreon.com / the Keeg Show. We're doing we're gonna be putting in some new material, very exclusive material in Patreon. So get it on the ground floor of that, and then help us out because we need a budget, and we don't have a budget. Our budget is 0. So do what you can. Support us if you want to. Support your local comic shops. Go to comicshoplocator.com. Find a comic shop near you. Support your local comic shops and support your local public libraries, because public libraries also need your support. They're doing great jobs out there, and they also have comics. So, help out your local public library. Grab those comics. Sign up for Hoopla. Get digital comics, I think, that way. I think that's how it works. That's pretty much it. This is Comic Talk, one of the many shows, but find out more about all the other shows that we do on social media. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you, Jecky. Thank you to anybody out there watching and or listening. Once again, youtube.com / The Keeg Show, or Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, all that stuff. However you're digesting us, like, comment, subscribe, follow. Let us know you're out there. Either way, thank you guys so much for coming on. Thank you everybody out there for listening and or watching. Once again, I am your host, Dimithri Perera, and this has been Comic Talk for the week of October 23rd, 2025. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
All right.
Peace out.
Super